It is a beautiful day. You are welcome to another edition of Insightful Moments. And these editions will be done here, right here in the studio. We want to look into the allegations and counter-allegations that are flying in Osun State. And it has to do with 20 million US dollar grant given to the state government. Earlier this week, the senator representing Osun East and then a member of the opposition People's Democratic Party raised it that the party, the government has spent 20 billion naira. He said 20 billion naira. But the second day, the chief press secretary to the governor, Mr. Ismail Omekudam, responded to that allegation. He said what the government received from the US is just a total of 20 million US dollars. Those are the things we want to be discussing today, and I will be joined online by two people. The first person is Mr. Oladele Bamiji. He's the director of social media of the PDP, and the second person is the director of research and publicity of the All Progressives Congress. Both of them are joining me to weigh in into the matter. Good afternoon, Mr. Oladele Bamiji. Are you there? Hello. Hello, Mr. Kunle Oyatomi, are you with me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, Mr. Kunle Oyatomi is the Director of Research and Publicity of the All Progressives Congress in the state of Osun. Mr. Kunle Oyatomi, you are aware of what is going on, the matter that has been moving around. The allegation started with a senator representing Osun East Senatorial District, Senator Francis Fadansi. He said the government led by Mr. Oyatomi, the government of your party, has spent a total of 20 billion naira on healthcare. He said if the projects cannot be seen anywhere. But recently we saw the press statements by the chief press secretary saying that the amount is $20 million. What do you have to say? What will be your immediate reaction to that? Okay, before we do that, Mr. Oladele Bamiji is already with us. Mr. Oladele Bamiji, good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Oladele Bamiji.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mr. Kunle Oyatomi is also online with you. Please, Mr. Kunle Oyatomi, you want to respond to the allegation and what has happened over the issue of $20 million that was used to renovate the healthcare. What do you have to say? What will be your immediate reaction? Mr. Kunle Oyatomi first.
Yeah, we find that noise and I think appropriate response has been made to put the perspective in order.
Okay.
See, people merely want to raise issues that they least understand, or rather, for mischievous reason, they want to talk about issues they want people to talk on just irresponsibly.
Oh.
For in fact, this issue is not something we should engage ourselves on this way. The projects are not, they are not needle. You can easily see them. You can evaluate them and see what has been done. And it has been said severally. Where is that $20 million, you say? The $20 million is warehoused in the CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Okay.
And every project is sanctioned by the World Bank officials. Before even money is released for it, everything has been done. The money as at this time we are talking has not been exhausted, and whatever has been done was actually in accordance with the measure.
Okay.
Of World Bank itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Please permit me to butt in because of our time. Mr. Oladele, you heard what Mr. Kunle Oyatomi is saying over there. He said the money is 20 million US dollars and not 20 billion naira, as Senator Francis Fadansi alleged. And your party is asking the government to publish the names, as in the locations of all the healthcare centers that the government has renovated. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I want to say good afternoon and want to thank my respected brother Comrade, or how do I address him now? Kunle Oyatomi is somebody I respect so much.
Okay.
But as far as I am concerned, and as far as our party is concerned, I think the state government should, the APC-led administration of the state should come up their consistent arrogance and primordial thinking of conducting government businesses anyhow in this state. That's as if how we are in a jungle. I want them to know that they must stop any form of crime with this what I can call deceptive pain. Whenever they are called upon to give accounts of their activities in the as far as this state is concerned.
Mr. Oladele, please, if I'm important there.
I'm just giving that preamble. They must know that this is a state that they are actually answerable to the people.
Yes.
What our distinguished senator really started was a very simple question. As a stakeholder in this state, thank God the state is not denying the fact that it got a grant of $20 million to revitalize the moribund of, how do I put this, moribund.
Mr. Oladele, please, I want you to react to this quickly. Your party is asking the government to publish the details of 256 healthcare centers that have been completely revitalized. And today, the Chief Press Secretary has actually responded to that. What can you say about the list that the Chief Press Secretary released? You gave us some names, and locations.
It is laughable that now they have to begin to do that when they are asked to do it.
Okay.
But before now, I expect that should have been a matter of public, a matter for public consumption before this very day. Okay. However, that response you are referring to is a form of panicky response somehow, because most of those health centers listed in that publication,
yes,
are still in shambles. And I must tell you, remember that most of these primary health centers were actually put in place by PDP administration in this state.
Yes, but sorry, they were put in place by PDP administration, but you know they are in moribund states, as you have just said, and they have revitalized them. But I would like you to just give us a moment. I want to, Mr. Kunle Oyatomi, to respond to what you have just raised. You said it, Mr. Kunle Oyatomi, are you with us?
Yes.
Yes, he said it was only when they called your party to actions that was when you started, publishing the location, the details about the healthcare centers. What do you have to say about that? Must you wait till when people are asking questions before you feed the public the right information that they need?
Let me give this one as a check.
Okay.
Whoever is doing this kind of campaign. You see, you do not need a megaphone to tell the people that certain things happening somewhere, somehow. All over the state, in all the corners of this state of Osun, it will take a blind man to say that he is not seeing this public health center in his own community. They are there. So do you need to now ring a bell to begin to do campaign over that? The work should campaign for itself. The beneficiaries themselves in all these local government areas, they are thanking, praising the government for what he has done. The governor has been in all these places.
Okay.
But 256 or so, thereabouts, have been completed. out of 332. So can't you just be kind enough to say Mr. Governor has done well?
Okay, Mr. Oladele, please permit me to quickly ask this from you. Your senator raised this and he was saying that these healthcare centers are nowhere to be found. But the government is saying that even in his own local government, Obokun local government, they have about 6 to 7 that have been completed in his local government. But your senator, is he actually coming home? What can you say about that? Yeah, maybe they're saying that maybe your senator is not very accessible or is not very close to his constituents.
My brother.
Yes, sir.
You know what? I've told you that it's not as if this present government is the one establishing this healthcare center. Okay.
Okay.
What our senator was inquiring, was asking the state government to do, is to come clean on how the 20 million grant meant for revitalization. Government is a continuum.
My brother,
I let you to make your point.
Okay. Pastor Oyatomi, please. Pastor Oyatomi, please. A moment.
Mr. Jamiu.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jamiu, what the senator was simply asking was to avail the state, the good people of Osun State, the level, the kind of the way they expended this grant on this healthcare center. If you are telling me now that means they have expended an average of 33 million naira on each of these primary healthcare centers.
Okay.
You are a journalist by what you are doing now. Please,
yes, I am.
Your friends. I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to Mr. Tiani.
Okay, I'm with you, sir.
Please take your men. Go to some of these centers. Do what is called investigative journalism.
Okay.
Go to some of these centers and demand for basic materials, basic equipment. 23 million naira to be able to provide for a primary health care center.
Mr. Oyatomi, Mr. Oladele.
Wait. One of our people was at the primary health care center, is very close location to me yesterday. Ordinary glove, Mr. Jami, ordinary glove. The health center will not provide.
But sir, what they are saying is that out of 322, that only 256 have been completed.
The $20 million this is also state funds. It's not for
Mr. Kunle, Mr. Oladele, please, a moment, please. Please allow Mr. Oyatomi to respond to what you have just raised. Mr. Oyatomi, you wanted to say something?
Let me go on.
Okay.
Let me just say this because of your time.
Okay.
I can talk till tomorrow, but let me just quickly say this.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, very unfortunate, that the PDP, and with due respect to the most distinguished senator, okay, Senator Fadamsi, he got it wrong. You see, when you want to hit at somebody, all you need to do, first of all, is to examine who is this fellow, where is he coming from, how has he been. Then you can have the ground to say something about him or her. You see, the central bank is in between the government of Osun and the World Bank. These are bodies that you can make your checks on from, and then let them tell you how much was the money, how much has they expended, and on what. They can't just be giving us money.
Mr. Oyatomi, don't you think that we need to hear this from the government without even going to CBN? The government should have told us that this is the amount we have spent.
Let me learn, please.
Okay.
You see, you should have allowed those institutions to please tell you, first and foremost, before you now say, oh, there is lacuna in what government has done and what it didn't do. The money was released. Was that money meant for salary? Was the money meant for Owambe party? Definitely no. It was meant to improve the health sector. And that was exactly what the money was spent on. So why the whoos and cries, for God's sake? I really don't understand. And it's not only in Osun that the money was released. You have.
Okay, Mr. Oyatomi, please, Mr. Oladele, please give us a moment. We will go on a very short break now. When we come back, you will be concluding your thoughts on those.
Comments are free, but facts are sacred.
Yes.
That is one principle in journalism.
Mr. Shamiyu, I'm listening to you, please.
Okay, Mr. Oladele, please, I will allow you to complete your thoughts after this very short break. Please stay on.
What I'm saying is that Mr. Oyatomi should please not try to be clever by heart. Like I said, the $20 million is not Mr. Oyatomi or Mr. Oyekola's largesse to this thing. It is the fund meant to cater for the health care needs of the good people of Osun State.
Was it not spent on that?
If it is spent on that, you see hold the vicious explanation on how that fund has been expended. You cannot tell me you expend what kind of explanation. You cannot tell me you expend like according to your claim now. You cannot tell me you expend like an average of 33 million naira on each of the primary health centers.
Mr. Oladele, please, I will allow you complete that thought. We need to go on a very short break now. When we come back, we will continue our discussion. Please, both of you, gentlemen, sir, please kindly wait. We will be right back in a very short time. We'll be right back in a very short time. Please give us some moments. We'll go on a very short break now. When we come back, we will allow the two men to complete their thoughts. Thank you, sir.
For me, General Manager, Osun Agency for Community and Social Development Projects, I want to say that you should keep watching Insights Link TV. It's a development focused communication media.
You're welcome back from that very short break. And we have been discussing with two gentlemen. The first person is Mr. Oladele Bamiji, Director of Social Media of People's Democratic Party in Osun State. While the second person is Mr. Kunle Oyatomi, Director of Research and Publicity of All Progressive Congress in the state. We have been discussing the matter of $20 million US dollars that was given to the state government, and the issue was generated by the senator representing Osun East senatorial district, Senator Francis Fadansi. We actually tried to reach out to him, but he declined our invitation. That is why we are speaking with two party men. So, Mr. Oladele Bamiji, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you were saying something. Please, can you land on that thought, please?
What I was trying to tell my dear brother is that perhaps he should consult with his governor, with our governor. Let me say that.
Okay.
That perhaps he should consult with him and put a cost to each unit of the primary health center and the statutory bidding, because we are not operating in a jungle.
Okay.
Where were the biddings done? Where were the advances towards this $20 million? Although the government don't spend the millions anymore, but yes, $20 million is not. It's a substantial amount of money as far as Osun State is concerned. We are not Rivers, we are not Lagos, we are not Delta. $20 million is a substantial amount of money as far as Osun State health sector is concerned. So let him put a cost to each unit of those acclaimed, completed health centers.
Okay.
And the bidding, because we are not like I said, we are not
Mr. Oladele, allow him to react to that. Mr. Oladele, please allow Mr. Oyatomi to react to that. Mr. Oyatomi, Mr. Oladele and the PDP, Mr. Oyatomi,
I'm not some caustic leaders.
Mr. Oladele, please kindly allow me to say this. Mr. Oyatomi is saying that the government is just giving us a sum, a very long sum. That why can't you give us the amount you are spending on each of the?
You want to tell me now that painting of walls, wall painting is now synonymous to the revitalization of
Mr. Oladele, allow Mr. Oyatomi to respond to that. You have raised a very critical point there. Please allow him to react. Mr. Oyatomi is saying that the government is just giving us a lump sum, that this is the amount that everything costs. Can we know the amount that each of these project costs?
Let's put it, for it to be meaningful, because I really don't know what they are aiming at. I read Senator Fadan's article and question. He didn't ask how much was each of these things. You see, it's varying from one thing to the other. Let me answer you, please. Don't come in. Fadan's article was merely saying that there was 9 billion naira somewhere, or spent anyhow.
Yeah.
You that you want to say that kind of thing, you ought to have harmed yourself with all the details. In so place, this is how much the cost is, and this is how much you have spent. You see, there's nothing like that.
Okay.
You can't put the government on that kind of a check, and you think that you will be so foolish to be answering inexplainable questions.
Okay.
The question is just out for the motive for being.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Oyatomi.
No, now they are only doing, like I said, they are only doing clear part by half. Let's even agree without conceding that it is there are 6 billion point something million naira in their own calculation. Okay?
It's not in their own. That is the fact. Not their own.
But I told you, I've said that let's even assume without considering that it is 6.1 or 6 whatever billion naira.
Yes.
Are you in all honesty and in your honor?
Yes.
Within the confine of your conscience as an institution, as Oyatomi, that you have judiciously, your government has judiciously extended that chunk of money on our primary health care sector in Osun State.
But Mr. Oladele, they said the remaining amount is with the CBN.
I have told you, sir, Barrister, that I have one of my own person, one of my very close relation to me, that went to one of the primary health centers very close to me, precisely in Nolorunshogu. What is the level of equipment in those primary health care centers? Because I want to say that it is not enough. It is not enough for you to tell us that you have painted the walls of these health centers, and you just tell us that you have extended it as something out of the world.
Mr. Oladele, please let us hear from Mr. Oyatomi. Mr. Oyatomi, please, we are wrapping up this conversation now. Please, I would like you to react to what Mr. Oladele has raised. Mr. Oladele, please allow him to react to that.
Each of our primary health care
Mr. Oyatomi, Mr. Oladele, please allow him to react to that. Please allow him to react to that.
The question you raised,
we are all in this state. I only want you to be conscientiously
you want to come to equity, you must come with clean hands.
Yes.
You can't be thinking in your bedroom of it is possible for Mr. A to go and steal money, because that is the way you have been thinking it has to be done. The PDP they had a record in this country. We know what they did. So
Mr. Oladele and Mr. Oyatomi, thank you for your time on this show.
$20 million grant. It's not PDP, sir.
Wait now. Now they expected.
Please let Mr. Oyatomi continue his point, please, Mr. Oladele.
They expected you as APC to do what the other.
We are not APC, we are PDP.
Please, Mr. Oyadele, Mr. Oladele, allow him to continue, please.
You see, if you don't allow me, it is okay.
Mr. Oyatomi, please continue. Please continue. I'm listening.
All I am saying is that their nakedness. If this is what you are capable of doing in answering questions from the main party, the ruling party, then you are not even ready to take power. This is not how to take power. Are you responding to the issues, or you are just
Mr. Oladele, Mr. Oyatomi, please let us stick to the topic, please. Mr. Oladele, please wait. Mr. Oyatomi, let us stick to the topic that we are discussing, please.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I am saying that the money you quoting has been wasted, and there is nothing to show for it. Is that what you are saying?
yes.
Then you go and do your investigation more. Because if you cannot you want me to do investigation for you so that you can use it.
Well, if we have not done our investigation, we will not come out to challenge you. You can be rest assured that we will not come out to challenge you.
Mr. Oladele, I will give you just 10 seconds to wrap up your whole part of the discussion. We have just very 10 seconds. We have to close this show. We have to close this conversation. Please, you have 10 seconds. Please, your final thoughts on this show.
We are not in any secret society. The government runs an open, transparent government.
Yes.
And it is known all over. We were praised for what we have done. You see, in 3 days, 25 of these public health centers were commissioned by the governor. It is never done by any administration.
In 3 days.
Mr. Oladele, Mr. Oyatomi, thank you for that information. Please allow Mr. Oladele to conclude his thoughts. Please, Mr. Oladele, Mr. Oyadele, you have just 10 seconds.
Yes, my brother, Mr. Jami, I want to challenge you too as an investigative journalist.
Yes.
Get Mr. Oyatomi committed to a task that let us go to some, not at their own beck and call or at their own discretion. Let us select some of these acclaimed, completed, revitalized, revamped primary health center. Let us visit them. Let us marry what we see on ground. Aside the painting of the walls, let us marry what we see on ground in terms of equipment, in terms of health materials. Let us marry it with
thank
what
you,
we have
Mr. Oladele.
on this aspect.
Mr. Oladele, thank you. Please, Mr. Oyatomi, please, in 10 seconds, kindly conclude your own thoughts on this show.
Okay, let me now conclude mine too. That I will advise the PDP or whoever is looking for the secret aspect of doing this.
I expect to assess my challenge straightforward. I don't expect him to be blabbing.
Please, Mr. Oladele, we will look into that when the time comes. Please allow him to conclude, please.
Let me tell you that the PDP should go forward. They should move on by trying to investigate further what they want to tell the APC. For instance, I really don't see any issue with what they have said so far. Unfortunately, they are merely picking dust where it is.
You are just doing your normal thing. Let us visit this.
Thank you, the two gentlemen. We appreciate your thoughts on this show. Until some other time when we still have to come away with what you have just said, Mr. Oladele, we will react to that. We will work towards that. And when we want to do that, we will let you know. We will see how we can, move around and see what we have on the ground. We will do that. Thank you.
to Ikire, to everywhere, to Ijesaland.
Yes, we will do that. We will do that. We are working with we work with the necessary agencies in the state to ensure that we move front and see what what the state government has put on ground. Thank you so much. That is wow, that was a very wonderful session with Mr. Oladele Bamiji, Director of Social Media of the APC, and of the PDP, sorry, and Mr. Kunle Oyatomi, the Director of Research and Publicity of the All Progressives Congress. Gentlemen, thank you for the time, and I'm very sure that we have been able to dig a lot of things out in this insightful conversation. Thank you for being part of the show. Till some other time when we come your way again, I am Jareti Amiyu. Shout out to all my crew member of Insight Multilinks Media. Thank you for working with us. Till some other time, please ensure you stay safe. Bye for now.
I'm inspired by what Inside Links Media, what they are doing. They are doing a very, very good job, and I want you to keep listening to them. Thank you.